Hey up everybody, how the devil are we all doing? It's the Naughty Gerbil, and today I'm going to be showing you my favourite camp building tips and tricks. I know, we're mixing it up a little bit. Now, a lot of these tips and tricks are not new by any means, they have been covered in the past, but it's the ones that I use the most of, and I thought I'd share them with you. You may have seen them. If you have, I apologise. If you haven't, well, you've learned something, haven't you? As ever guys, if you like the video, please hit the like button, and if you want to help a guy out, please hit the subscribe button. You know the drill. Anyway, let's crack on with it. The first tip I'm going to share with you is probably one of the most impressive you can have in your arsenal, and no, that isn't a smutty innuendo before some of you put it down in the comments. See, I've clocked on to some of you guys now, you filthy-minded buggers. Anyway, the first trick we are talking about is of course a merge glitch, and while it is known as the merge glitch, it's actually just a creative walk around. Yeah, that's better. Now there's two ways you can go about doing this. You can either use a pressure plate or you can use the terrain, but we're going to start with the pressure plate method. What you want to do is grab the two items that you want to merge together. So say if you wanted to merge a generator with a shelf, like this for example. You put the generator on top of the shelf, grab the shelf, obviously the generator will come with it as well. Place that down on top of the pressure plate, and whilst making sure the pressure plate is depressed, like, you know, you will hear it, and if you don't hear it, you'll see it. That's what your eyes are for. Just grab the shelf, drop it. Grab the shelf, drop it, and the generator will sink down into the shelf. It's as simple as that. This will work with most of the items in the game, so go ahead, knock yourself out and have some fun. The terrain method is the same as the pressure plate method. You're just using the terrain, as the name suggests, rather than using a pressure plate to sink things down. Now, do be warned, this method is a lot more less precise than, you know, using the pressure plate, but it is faster, and if you get it right, it can save you a bit of time. What you want to do for this one is find some terrain that your item will sink into. I find that hills and bumps and rough, you know, ground works best for this, but obviously it's not going to be accessible in every location on the map. Once you've found your terrain, just repeat what you do with a pressure plate. It's that simple. Sometimes you have to drag it rather than just, you know, select it, drop it, select it, drop it. You know, it does take a little bit of getting used to, but you will get there with a little bit of fettling, don't worry. For this next section, I'm going to be showing you the magical powers of catwalks. If you haven't, fantastic. If you don't, I apologise, you won't be able to use these tricks. Now, if you despise the look of foundations as much as I do, this trick is absolutely perfect for you. What you want to do is grab yourself one of the catwalk pieces, simply lovely, and snap it to the side of your foundation. It's as simple as that. Now, provided there's no rocks in the way, they do seem to mess this trick up, you should be able to snap a wall to the side of your foundation. Look at that, you see. Absolutely bloody fantastic. Changes the whole look of your entire build. The catwalks can also be used to make floating camps, as I'm going to demonstrate here. All you need to do is grab yourself a foundation, anyone you like, it doesn't bloody matter. Grab yourself some stairs, simply lovely, and snap them to said foundation. Then all you've got to do is snap your catwalk to the stairs, grab yourselves another set of stairs, and snap that to the opposite side of the catwalk. From here, you've just got to go back on yourself, and then you should be left with a floating set of stairs. From these stairs, you can attach floors to it, and you've got the start of a floating camp. Very, very nice. The last trick we're going to use the Gantry Boy 1200s for is half walls. More specifically, the placement of the foundations to create an illusion of half walls. Mystifying. Simply grab the foundation you want, snap one of the half-size gantries to that, and then you should be able to snap another foundation to that gantry. Basically, what this does is gives you perfect foundation placement for creating half walls. I'll show you what I mean here now. Video speaks louder than words. This next one is a seriously handy trick. I'm going to show you how to make octagonal camps. I can't say octagonal properly, I do apologise. It's very much like making round camps. I did do a video on that way back when. I'll leave a floaty card. Don't judge me on it. I'm really shy on my older videos. So the basis of making one of these octopus-sided camps, I'm not saying the bloody word again, is making a cross. So one foundation in the middle with foundations attached to each side of it. Simple as that. From here, we're going to grab another foundation, and in the gaps between the foundations of the cross, if that makes any sense, we're going to slide it in so it sits nicely in between them. It's quite hard to put into words. Just watch what I'm doing and you'll get the gist of it. Once we've done all four corners, we're going to grab the initial foundations we put down, you know, the cross pieces, and we're going to drag them forward so they line up with the corner pieces we've just put down. I know it doesn't make much sense and it sounds like gibberish, and trust me, I'm giving myself a mild stroke by trying to explain that, so just watch the video and you'll get the bloody gist of it. Once we've done that, we're going to use the remaining foundation in the middle, and we're going to snap that to the foundations around the outside. What that allows us to do is place down walls and have them facing the correct way, you know, wallpaper side inwards. That's very important. We can then delete that foundation and we can blueprint the whole entire bloody thing. Now, when we place down this blueprint, something magical is going to happen. 3, 2, 1. Look at that, you see. Witchcraft. The same can be done to add a roof to it. Just make sure you add roof pieces into your blueprint and job's a good one. This trick is quite obscure and you're not going to use it that much, but if you're into water camps and whatnot, this is probably going to come in really handy for you. Say you wanted to build a swimming pool. What does a swimming pool need other than water? Lights, of course. You don't want to go swimming in the dark. The issue we have though is you can't put items underwater. Well, there is a few you can, but 99.9% of them you can't. The walk around is ridiculously easy. Say if I wanted to put this light into a pool, all I'd do is I'd put the foundation on land, attach the light to it, and then snap it to the other foundations that are submerged in water. I almost feel like I'm cheating by calling that a tip, but it is a genuine walk around. It's absolutely ridiculous, I know, but it is what it is. The same thing can be done for sinking items into water. So say if you wanted to put a grain silo for some unknown reason in the middle of a pond, just put the foundation on land, put the grain silo on top of the foundation, and then you should be able to sink the foundation along with the silo into the water. Dead easy. The last one I'm going to throw at you is double walls. Now, a lot of people do know about this, but I'm still surprised at the amount of people who don't, so let me show you what I mean. Now, because we've still not got a wall, which we can just put wallpaper on the outside of a building and the inside of a building at the same time, we've got to use this method if we want to do said thing. It's a simple case of putting down 2 foundations back to back, choosing any doorway piece you want, as long as it's not the shack set, that won't work, and placing them down on top of each other effectively. You can then change them doorways to windows or solid walls, or leave them as doorways, and then you should be able to wallpaper on the inside of your house and the outside of it. If you want to do this with half walls and top arches, there is an extra step, and I am going to show you how to do it, don't worry. Now we've got our double walls here, and they're very nice indeed. I'm not slating them at all, but when we put on our top arch, it's going to look a little bit ugly from the outside. To get around this, we are going to have to put down a brick top arch, and that's the only one that this will work with to my knowledge. We're then going to find a way of getting a flamethrower trap up there, destroy the top arch with the flamethrower trap, and what do you know? We can now double up the top arches. Simply lovely. Half walls are the same. All you have to do is place down a half wall. It doesn't have to be brick though. You can use anything you want. Destroy it with a flamethrower trap. Job's a good one. Look at that, you see. And that is it from me, guys. I hope you found something useful out of this. I know a lot of these tricks have already been done to death, but it's nice to cover them all in one video. A lot of you may have seen these tips and tricks covered by other camp builders, whether that be on Facebook or YouTube. And I wish I could go through and give the person who found these tips and walkarounds direct credit, but I can't. Honestly, all of these are really well known in the camp building community. I will say, though, I learned of the underpinnings and floating camps from Mr. Church and Stole Your Sweet Roll. Links to the channels down in the description. Anyway, that is it from me. I shall love you and leave you, and I hope you enjoyed the video.